Q6720. What is the minimum allowable strength of a towline used for the Aerotow of a glider having a certificated gross weight of 1,040 pounds? A. 780 pounds. B. 832 pounds. C. 1,300 pounds. The correct answer is B. When conducting an aerotow, a towline is used to connect the glider to the tow aircraft. The towline must be strong enough to withstand the forces exerted during the tow and ensure the safety of the operation. The minimum allowable strength of the towline is determined based on the certificated gross weight of the glider, which represents the maximum weight at which the glider is certified to operate. In this case, the glider has a certificated gross weight of 1,040 pounds. The minimum allowable strength of the towline is typically a certain percentage of the glider's gross weight. The specific percentage may vary depending on regulations and guidelines. As a rough guideline, a common minimum strength requirement for towlines used in aerotows is around 80% of the glider's gross weight. This guideline helps ensure that the towline has an adequate safety margin to handle the forces encountered during the tow. Using this guideline, the minimum allowable strength of the towline for a glider with a certificated gross weight of 1,040 pounds would be approximately 832 pounds. This value is calculated by multiplying 1,040 pounds by 0.8, 80%. 7175. What consideration should be given in the choice of a tow plane for use in aerotows? A. Stall speed of the tow plane. B. Gross weight of the glider to be towed. C. Tow plane's low wing loading and low power loading. The correct answer is A. When selecting a tow plane for aerotows, it is important to consider various factors to ensure safe and effective towing operations. One of the critical considerations is the stall speed of the tow plane. The stall speed of an aircraft refers to the minimum speed at which the wings can generate enough lift to sustain flight. It is an important parameter that determines the aircraft's ability to maintain control and stability at low speeds, such as during takeoff and landing. In the context of aerotows, the tow plane needs to be capable of flying at speeds that allow for a safe and controlled takeoff and climb while towing the glider. If the tow plane's stall speed is too high, it may limit the available runway length for takeoff, reduce the climb performance, and potentially compromise the safety of the operation. By considering the stall speed of the tow plane, operators can ensure that it is compatible with the towing requirements, including the size and weight of the glider, the available runway length, and any operational constraints. 7178. How can excessive towline slack that is allowed to develop during a glider tow be eliminated? A. Increase pitch attitude until towline becomes taut. B. Execute a shallow banked coordinated turn to either side. C. Yaw the nose to one side with rudder while keeping the wings level with ailerons. The correct answer is C. During a glider tow, it is important to maintain proper tension in the towline to ensure a stable and controlled tow. Excessive towline slack can lead to unstable flight conditions and may even result in a loss of control. To eliminate excessive towline slack, here's the reasoning behind this technique. Yawing the nose. By applying rudder inputs to yaw the nose of the glider to one side, the airflow striking the vertical stabilizer and rudder generates a side force. This side force helps to align the glider's longitudinal axis with the direction of the tow, reducing towline slack. Wings level. It is important to keep the wings level using the ailerons during the yawing maneuver. This ensures that the glider maintains lateral stability and avoids rolling motions that could lead to further instability or undesirable flight attitudes. Tensioning the towline. By yawing the nose to one side, the glider effectively pulls on the towline in that direction, increasing tension and reducing towline slack. This helps to establish a direct and controlled connection between the two aircraft and the glider. It's important to note that the technique described in Option C should be used with caution and in accordance with proper tow procedures. Pilots should be trained in the specific towing techniques recommended by the glider manufacturer or towing organization. 7179. What could result if a glider pilot releases while in the low-tow position during an aerotow? A. Nose of the glider would tend to pitch up after release. B. Tow ring may strike and damage the glider after release. C. Glider may be forced into the tow plane's wake turbulence. The correct answer is B. During an aerotow, the glider is connected to the tow plane via a towline, which is attached to the glider's tow ring. The tow ring is a structural component of the glider's airframe that is designed to withstand the forces exerted during the tow. When a glider pilot releases from the tow plane, the towline is released, and the glider transitions from being under tow to flying independently. The release maneuver is typically performed when the glider reaches a safe altitude or when instructed by the tow plane pilot or a predetermined release point. If the glider pilot releases while in the low tow position, which means the glider is still in a low position relative to the tow plane, there is a risk that the tow ring may strike and damage the glider after release. This can occur because the towline may still have tension and force, and the released tow ring may swing or pendulum towards the glider's airframe, causing a potential collision. To avoid this risk, it is important for the glider pilot to release from the tow plane when the glider is in a suitable position and altitude, ensuring that the towline is clear of the glider's airframe, and there is no risk of the tow ring causing damage upon release. 7180. After signaling the tow pilot that the glider pilot cannot release, the tow pilot fishtails the airplane. The glider pilot should then plan to fly the final approach in A. Low tow position and land before the tow plane, but use no spoilers or brakes during the landing roll until after the tow plane touches down. B. High tow position and extend the spoilers just prior to the tow plane's touchdown. C. The tow plane's wake and extend the spoilers as needed for a normal landing. The correct answer is A. When the tow pilot fishtails the airplane, it indicates that they are unable to release the towline due to some issue or malfunction. In such a situation, it is essential for the glider pilot to adapt their approach and landing technique accordingly. Low tow position. The low tow position refers to flying the glider with the nose lower than the tow plane's position. This helps to maintain a safe vertical separation from the tow plane during the approach and landing. Land before the tow plane. The glider pilot should plan to land before the tow plane touches down. Landing first ensures that the tow plane does not overtake the glider on the runway, reducing the risk of collision or interference. No spoilers or brakes. During the landing roll, the glider pilot should avoid using spoilers or brakes until after the tow plane touches down. This allows the tow plane to clear the runway before the glider begins deceleration, reducing the potential for interference between the two aircraft. By following these procedures, the glider pilot can safely complete the approach and landing, ensuring a smooth and controlled landing while maintaining separation from the tow plane. It's important to note that the specific procedures may vary depending on the glider's performance characteristics, pilot training, and any specific guidance provided by the glider manufacturer or towing organization.